Ladies and gentlemen, I'm by the names of Oriema Robinson Ogeri, a very tested cadre of the National Resistance Movement. Today I take a stock of the campaigns for President Yoweri Kaguta Museveni, the flag bearer of the National Resistance Movement. And one person that vividly comes onto my mind is the Right Honorable Richard Toodwong, the Secretary General of the mighty National Resistance Movement. How he has mobilized the coordination and how he has put the campaign in a very straightforward manner. Ladies and gentlemen, recently I saw a picture of the SG celebrating his birthday on the campaign trail, and the mood in the NRM camp. The recent jovial picture of the Secretary General Richard Toodwong on the campaign trail waving thumbs up sign as the team sing for him happy birthday melody captured my mind. What does this say about Richard Toodwong and the legacy in the NRM party? Ladies and gentlemen, members of the ruling party, what comes onto my mind when I see that picture is one important aspect, that I am seeing a very honest, a very dedicated, hard-working, and a man with unrivaled work ethics for excellence first time round. You could see the excitement in the faces of his team, genuinely enjoying a moment with him. A speaking picture of this kind speaks to the mood of the campaign in the NRM camp. Ladies and gentlemen, unlike in the past, the NRM campaign team 2025 is being defined by, it's not being defined by squabbles or abuse of finances as it used to be in the past, or the incoherent messages during the campaigns. This specific campaign is radically different from all the other campaigns in the past ever experienced in the history of Uganda as a nation. This is an exceptionally peaceful campaign, and the issues of the campaign cannot be defined by violence, but by its organizational strengths to get its campaign messages to the people, both online and offline. You will bear with me witness that NRM is very visible online this time. Back in the day, online we were completely not there. We could only be seen from the field. Ladies and gentlemen, everyone can attest to the lines protecting the gains as the NRM catch word in every influencer's lips. The NRM organizational strength as seen on the campaign trail is more than just numbers. Take a look at who speaks. What do they say and how long do they take on stage? If you've been in these campaign trails, you will regularly hear speakers alluding to ending their speeches even when they have so much to say. But the SG will not have of it. When all is well, it's easy to forget politicians fighting for microphones before the president. You remember this has been a common practice back in time. Don't forget politicians loaded with family problems, armed with emotional blackmails to embarrass the president. In this specific election, every speaker is a politician with a clear mandate within the NRM, with a clear message for the people. This has made it easier for the president to address himself on vital campaign issues. Ladies and gentlemen, in the past, the money bags were historical personalities that used to carry money. You remember? They could carry the money, take it to the districts with lots of issues thereafter. But in this specific campaign, financing systems has delivered. Money has been, the little money the party has solicited to help in the campaign is being delivered to the structure. You will never see any WhatsApp group people complaining or quarreling over money matters. Because the other system, the old system, had led to patrons but not loyals to the NRM. But it was to individuals who could have deployed you. In this campaign, the SG has decentralized the system of campaigns financing to its grassroots campaign structure. This new robust campaign financing system has not only empowered the NRM loyals' lower cadres, but it has been exceedingly very effective. Everybody will be putting on the yellow shirt as they wait for the arrival of the president, the strongest revolutionary in Africa. Ladies and gentlemen, in my opinion, the NRM team looks and seamlessly works as a more united team than ever before. From its outlook, you may never notice the same campaign structure was challenged by emerging groups, like the groups that people thought were parallel groups, the PLUs, the historicals, and the recent election losers in their primaries, which I am also a victim. The NRM grievance handling process has definitely exceeded expectations. The leadership style of the Right Honorable Richard Toodwong has united all the forces to a clear purpose and vision to deliver a landslide victory for President Museveni. Ladies and gentlemen, not so many months ago, if you could remember, we had groups like the Office of the National Chairman, the Patriotic League of Uganda. There used to be like an invisible, a fight between these groups. They seem to be like parallel groups. But the Right Honorable Richard Toodwong, with these pragmatic, diplomatic, and strategic approaches to problem solutions, he managed to unite all these forces, and all of them are working together without complaint from any of the groups. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a plus to the Secretary General. Even if you try to take a look at the pictures or the videos of the events before the campaign, before President Museveni goes onto the microphone, you will see even top government big shots, NRM shots, that used not to be in one place at the same time. You will see them dancing with a very jolly mood. Ladies and gentlemen, you will see the Right Honorable Speaker there hugging the Deputy Speaker, the Vice President, the Secretary General, all the government top shots, because the Right Honorable Richard Toodwong managed to put on table that whereas we could be having our individual differences, the party is bigger than all of us. This is a work well done, the SG. We cannot thank you enough as members of the party. We can only ask God to grant you more lives, that you continue uniting us for a common purpose. Your patience, your humility, your tolerance, and how you absorb shocks or difficult situations and put it into a straight path speaks a lot about your personality. And you see how he has even managed to bring the opposition candidates to campaign for President Museveni. You look for a place like Amuro, where you find the Honorable Gilbert Olanya distributing campaign t-shirts for President Museveni. Honorable Dongato, because the SG has managed to educate them that it is not about President Museveni, it's not about NRM, but it's about Uganda and the role President Museveni has got to play in delivering us to the promised land. The SG, you have done a commendable work. And that is why we keep on saying, what else can inspire this phenomenon? It's not the strength of a united, coherent, robust NRM grassroots structure. Conclusively, in my opinion, it is why the picture of the SG, the Right Honorable Richard Toodwong, celebrating his birthday on a campaign trail, and his team looked memorable and inspired this write-up. I will still find time and put all these key events together so that cadres can always read and make reflections. And with all these very many words, the Right Honorable Secretary General, allow me to say happy birthday, and may you continue doing the good work you're doing for our beloved President Yoweri Museveni. Because if I can see with the kind of great work you've done with your team, we are headed for victory of at least not less than 70%. This is going to be the first election in the history of Uganda whereby most definitely nobody will contest the results. Because you can even see it, it is very clear that President Museveni is headed for a landslide victory. Big up Wana SG, and may the good Lord continue protecting you. I still remain Oriema Robinson Ogeri, a very ardent supporter and a cadre of the National Resistance Movement. Bye.